And get hurt.
When you lose McCaffrey, you lose a guy who's touching the ball 20, 25 times a game. You're going to have to ask the other guys to do more. And one of the guys you might have to ask to do more is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. And here's all I'll say. It's fun to watch. It's fun. It's been fun to watch Purdy with all his weapons.
Right.
But we might see him the next few games without his number one weapon. So is it fair to say this is starting kind of a new judgment period? Not judgment, but this is a new period for Brock Purdy, because now he's playing on a team that's not quite as good with one less weapon.
Okay, I'm not mad at any of that. That's the title of the jam. If we get news here before we get out of here or some point today that he's going to miss some time talking about McCaffrey. But, Steiny, I'll say this. Brock Purdy stepped on that field in Cleveland, and nobody knew who was not going to be available. So if he does miss time, I will say Kyle will have him ready. I believe we'll see the same type of productive Brock Purdy with the poise, but they're going to come after him if he doesn't have the services of Brock Purdy. But he'll know that happened on the fly, and they went out at different sectors of the game. I just don't know what happened to Debo. I know we got Jennifer Lee Chan. What time, Steiny? 11.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, so we can get the skinny on what's going on there. But I got confidence in this team going up to Minnesota with or without McCaffrey, because when you say, like I have, they were the best team in the NFL and they can be without Tom, Dick, and Harry, okay, let's see it if that's what happens. But I know Ayuk's going to be out there, Kittle, and, Kyle's going to have to call a different game plan. But, Steiny, if we do get news that McCaffrey's out, I'm sorry, help me already. Just give me a mint or a peel. This is another year where a Niner running back in red and gold misses time. And I know you're going to say, all of you, it's football, but gosh.
I'll say it for the 15th time before it sinks in. The 49ers running backs run harder than the other running backs in the league. I truly
They run harder than Nick Chubb, who's out for the year.
Well, I mean, obviously Nick Chubb's great, but I really do believe this offense is built to, when the handoff occurs, McCaffrey's usually running pretty hard already.
Mostert, Breida.
Exactly. So,
Mitchell.
My question to 49er fans is, do you feel any different about Brock Purdy today than you did 3 days ago when he had all his weapons? Or do you still have confidence that Brock Purdy can get this thing done?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If I'm Minnesota, or I'm Dallas, or I'm Seattle, or Detroit, or Philly, Steiny, I'll tell you what, hell yeah, I want to face Brock Purdy and the Niners without McCaffrey.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because I'm looking at Matt Mayoko, NBC Sports Bay Area. I'm looking at a tweet of his, and it says, as I understand it, this is from Matt Mayoko, NBC Sports Bay Area, as I understand it, Christian McCaffrey's injury is more of a pain tolerance thing. The extra day helps, meaning the Monday game next week. At this point, it's not out of the question. McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, and Trent Williams all could be available for Sunday.
There you go.
So maybe we're worrying about nothing.
Yeah, no doubt. But we talked about that depth, and it would have been tested, but that's the best news. We got out of here with Willard saying, Williams and Debo.
Well, you can't play McCaffrey Monday, right?
Well, if it's a pain tolerance, why wouldn't you?
Well, because he might get hurt further. I mean, this is load management time.
This could be something starting, 2 more weeks before the bye, but this could be something that follows him the whole year. Isn't that what Ayuk's doing, pain management with the shoulder and
Ayuk's
Debo?
hurt?
Remember, he missed the game. Ayuk missed the game.
I think Ayuk's healthy right now. Yeah. But no, I hear what you're saying.
I went back and watched that game after the Cowboy game last night. I was
Wait. You can't keep track of all the games you watch.
Monday Night Football, then after.
Okay, then after you went back and you looked at the All-22.
A few of those balls I blamed Ayuk for not coming down with, Steiny, were, I don't want to say uncatchable, but off target. So I was a little hard on him. I was a little hard on him.
No, you weren't.
There was about 2 balls
there. You were
there.
fair. You're fair.
40%.
You think he's a number one, you got to come down with those.
That I do. But that's good news for Mayoko.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. That still would be optimistic, I think.
So would you play him if it's just pain tolerance? Or do you say, I think we can handle purple?
I leave that up to the doctors. See,
But if they tell you it's pain tolerance, it ain't up to the doctors. It's up to the individual.
Well,
you know I'd be out there.
No, you wouldn't.
Dude, I'm riding line bikes in downtown SF.
And you're wreaking havoc out there.
I was flying. Dude, I know. I might stay off them.
T. Richmond. Richmond is, can we? Oh, okay. I thought we were having problems there. But no, I'm sorry. T is in Richmond.
The Rich.
Hey, T, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing, man?
Talk to us.
Wow, you sound great.
Thank you. Long-time listener, man. It's my first time calling.
Cool.
I just wanted to say about the loss on Sunday, my Niners. Even though Purdy played bad, the whole team played bad, no excuses. Really, the game just came down to a missed field goal, though. Like, that's really not a bad thing to look at. You know, we got, even though we played our worst game, we still was in great position to win it. We just missed the field goal. So, I mean, I wouldn't hang my head too much on it. The Browns played great. I give them all kinds of credit. But I think we're going to be all right, man.
Let me ask you this.
I can see us still making a push.
Let me ask you this.
One game.
Because I was going to run it by Steiny real quick. I'm not shocked at the Brown defense. They were number one. Okay. I didn't believe they were that good. I'm still shocked. Okay. But the Niners defense gave up 160 on the ground. Do you just say as a fan, oh, that's because Greenlaw wasn't there, nothing to see here? Because real quick, for me, I'm watching that moving forward.
I think it is concerning. Like I say, the Browns came out fired up. And like I really think that slippery slope had something to do with it. But credit to the Browns, man. They was opening holes, man. My granny could have ran through that. Like,
Granny.
I could have rolled through the hole untouched, man. Kareem Hunt, there was a few plays where he was just untouched until he got downfield for like 5-6 yards. Like, it was,
Boy, he looked great.
It wasn't pretty showing, man. I think it's just one of those stinkers that we have. You know, every team has it. Nobody's going to be the 72 Dolphins.
No, I hear you, T.
I think the D-line going to be all right, though. It's just one game. We fell flat. But credit to my boys, man, for still fighting and being in position to win at the end. It's just, things happen. It's football.
Appreciate it, T.
Hawkins say it's NFL football.
There you go. Appreciate it, T. Good call. Thanks for listening, man. You can call back anytime. Absolutely. Look.
They miss Greenlaw.
This is what's great about football. 3 plays can change a game, and you can look at it however way you want. You can look at it as though, you know what, they were terrible.
All right.
We played our worst game. And even though we played our last game, there we were, one field goal away from beating a team with the best defense in football who got to play us, meaning the Niners, in the rain. And we almost beat them. Like, that's a legitimate point of view.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, but okay.
And especially if they win 41-7 next week.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm just going to do you, Daryl Steinmetz here. Cleveland, as you pointed out, Steiny, and we all saw Sunday, were without their starting quarterback and running back, and yet they were able to hit the tight end. They cut you with the tight end, and they cut you on the ground. They were getting to the outside. They held the ball 6 minutes longer than you did. So who saw that coming? But again, we hadn't talked about it. Obviously, right? Greenlaw was missed. So nothing to see here?
Well, we don't know. That's the beauty of next week's games. And the week after that, and the week after that. Are they going to be with McCaffrey without McCaffrey? Can they win if they don't have him on Monday against the Vikings? Yeah, I think they probably could. But it's going to be a little bit harder, and then you're going to have to rely on Brock a little bit more. Nobody's saying he can't do it.
Right.
But when they've got all their weapons,
I believe they're the best team in the league.
Well, at least through 5 games, they looked incredible. Incredible. Right. They lost a couple weapons on Sunday, and they looked very, very mediocre. 888-957-9570 is the number. I want to know how you're feeling about Brock Purdy right now, knowing that Christian McCaffrey is probably going to be questionable for Monday night's game against the Vikings. So now Brock Purdy. Here's the other thing, and somebody else brought this up on the Comcast Business text line. Not only is Purdy going to quarterback essentially the team that Garoppolo quarterbacked, but he's also going to quarterback the team that Trey Lance quarterbacked last year at the start, right? I mean, essentially, the 49ers have been the 49ers, but without Christian McCaffrey for the last 3 or 4 years, excluding last year.
And they've had success.
That's right. That's right. See, this is what I think. This is one thing I love, and you can disagree with me, but it's kind of the way it is, and it's this. Brock Purdy's now going to quarterback a team that he hasn't quarterbacked before. He's got one less weapon. Does it matter? And here's the other thing, Goodwin. You say this all the time.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Hey, we know that Jimmy Garoppolo can be the quarterback of a team that gets to the Super Bowl because he did it already. He did it without Christian McCaffrey.
Facts.
Now, they had some good running backs still, but they had 5 different 100-yard, 1,000-yard. They had 5 different leading rushers before last season. So you darn right. You darn right. You can start looking at Purdy a little bit different starting Monday if he doesn't have that weapon. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, but again, they got other weapons, as we talked about. So if Debo and Ayuk are ready to go and Greenlaw's back, this team is deep enough and they should not skip a beat. So that's the standard they set. And again, I'm still shocked by the Mayoko tweet. If it does come to fruition to where it's just pain management, Steiny, I don't see why he wouldn't play. I'm talking about McCaffrey.
From the YouTube chat, this is Don Dada.
The first no credit.
No. Trey Lance did. Trey Lance didn't. Oh, wrong. Trey Lance didn't have George Kittle last year. Well, you know what? Brock Purdy didn't have him on Sunday either.
Yeah,
he didn't have Kittle on Sunday either.
Give you one. Early one.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
He was blocking, Steiny. He was doing things. But it is amazing.
He was no factor, Goo.
They were Mike Tyson, and now
he was no factor.
We got questions.
George Kittle was no factor Sunday. Come on.
Right. I wouldn't say.
Oh, but you said he was doing. You said he was doing other things.
No, he was helping block.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
How'd that running game work?
Huh?
Yeah.
Dude, Kyle abandoned it apparently at the end on that series right before they got the ball back with 21 left, the 3 throws, but he trusted Brock.
From the 415, I still have confidence in Brock even without Christian McCaffrey. At the end of the day, he drove them to a potential Yeah, that's true. He drove them to a potential game-winning field goal against a pretty darn good defense. But playing without McCaffrey,
that's big.
We're
calling him the MVP of the team.
Okay. Am I
trolling?
How do I want to put this? No, I never troll.
You're the
never troll.
Troller.
Never. I kind of would like to see this team play a game without McCaffrey.
And what would you take from that?
That's what I want to find out. I want to see what we look like without McCaffrey.
But I'm asking you, but then how would you compartmentalize what you saw, which in essence is not reality moving forward when he would come back?
Well, it is reality if you have trouble scoring against Minnesota. Then you can say, well, wait a minute, we had a game and a half without McCaffrey and we didn't really do much. So I think we can learn how important McCaffrey is. We know he's important. How important is he? Can they win a Super Bowl without McCaffrey? Can they have the best record? If McCaffrey misses a couple games, what happens to home field at that point?
No doubt about it.
707, I think you're going to get some pushback on this one. 49ers had Mostert. Mostert set NFL record numbers. Mostert is better than Christian McCaffrey this year, too. Hashtag truth.
I love you, 707. You're wrong. He's not better or playing better than McCaffrey. And he's explosive. Purdue track star, Steiny.
How many catches does Mostert have this year?
Well, he's on my fantasy. He gets it out the backfield.
As much as McCaffrey?
Not as much. And they had this youngster take his, but he's hurt too. He's still hurt.
It's because he runs too hard.
Stephen A calls him Mostert. I'm like, your first take. Somebody text Stephen A. His name is Mostert. Not that I'm Edgar Allan Poe with the words, but it's like you get $9 million. His name is Mostert, not Mostert.
He gets more than that.
And Molly and everybody just staring at him. It's Mostert. Just something to get some sticks about. You're like, oh, now put some respect on his name.
Purdy isn't going to be played like a running back like Trey Lance was. Well, that's the other thing I was thinking. And this is where maybe you do end up paying the price about Trey Lance. See, I think if Trey Lance were the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan envisioned, if he's the quarterback who can make all the throws and then make all those off-script plays, that's what makes it easier to play without McCaffrey, I think, if you have a quarterback like that. Now, Purdy's pretty smart, and Purdy, he gets it, that's for sure. But I think it's fair to say, let's take another look at Brock Purdy if he doesn't have everybody playing, most notably McCaffrey.
You know what?
It's fair.
What if I told you my bigger concern is they're going to be in a dome? This is just moving forward. If they were ever to play, it's the conditions for me. I don't like Brock in the conditions.
What conditions?
Like, it's the ball being slippery and he came out of his hands and
he's got small hands.
We saw some duck throws. We know he has accuracy, above average accuracy from what we've seen since his inception of being the starter here. So, Steiny, I think he can, if you're telling me it's a clean carpet and it's not going to be raining, I think the McCaffrey we've seen is the real McCaffrey. So all that to say is
McCaffrey or Purdy?
Purdy. Excuse me. I say all that to say is Niners, it's imperative that you get home field advantage because you don't want to play in the conditions. And conditions, Steiny, I'm going Wrigley Field, can be windy. Wind could affect your throws.